Vishu, Pooja here. Although the IP strategy, budget, and your work plan makes the part of your application, but how much time we need to include it in our 8 minutes presentation, right? All these three.
IP strategy, certainly I would I'm going to share one slide, and because most people have asked what to present, or what to talk in the IP strategy slide.
Okay.
Vikraman, please ping Pratik, please ping me when Vikraman joins so we can start. Hello, Pratik.
Sure, sir. I'll just check.
Sure. And good morning, Suresh.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Priyanjit, can you please switch on the video for a minute? Okay, so I think it's 11 o'clock, and we can start the initial program, and Vikraman will join us shortly.
So I have one question.
Yes, please.
So how much it will cost for a viable drug to be approved by FDA?
Sir, you have to ask the consultant, sir.
Thank you.
FDA consultant. And we have a program called virtual incubation, where which is going to be go live, and various modules will be there, whether it is for the medtech or pharma. So there will be specific modules to help with very specific questions like this. I request everyone to mute their mic. Very good morning to all of you, and thank you for your time. Today's interaction is mainly for the applicants who are applying for BIZ 18, and also the applicants who are presenting in the BIZ 17, because we felt that some of the questions asked by the BIZ 17 applicants who have been shortlisted and the applicants who are applying are similar. So this will be a combination of BIZ 17 and 18. I will just quickly take you through the overall process. So this will be entirely an online process where you have to apply the application. And now there is a new step involved in the screening process. It is called pre-screening. If you don't complete any of the sections, if you just leave NA, or when they ask you to upload a PowerPoint presentation asking for explaining your pitch, if you don't, there is a high possibility that it will be rejected at the early stages. So please pay attention to all the fields and complete the application in all the respects. I will just briefly talk about the entire subheadings, what you will have to focus on. Most important one is the title. Please make it short and crisp. Please make sure that it just conveys what you are doing in a very simple form, like, don't go into extreme specifics, and don't make it more than, let's say, 7 to 8 words if possible. And in the introduction, please include some data, include a reference, cite the references, and give specific numbers. Don't say there is a huge problem of waste management. Give, like, in India, there is X tons of waste is produced with so and so reference database. Some, then when the reviewer is reading, they will have a sense. Objectives, they should be very clear how we are going to do the project in 18 months. And in the milestones, you have to give very quantifiable details, like what you will be achieving in that particular time span. And as most of you have asked what need to be given in the IP strategy, I will explain the next slide. Budget, please do not allocate more than 30% to any single head, and better to justify why you are going to spend the money in those headings. And in case of a change of plan, if there is a plan B, if you are saying that you are going to use a particular component, if it is not going to work, particular buffer, if you are going to change, please explain those things. Reviewers will read the entire application. Giving the specific details is very useful. I will just take another 2 minutes. So as many of you have asked from the BIG 17 and 18 about, what should be given in the IP strategy. Since BIG Biotechnology Ignition Grant is a innovation grant, so there is a weightage given to the intellectual property. That is how you are going to protect your IP. So you have to mention what is your strategy and how you are going to protect. Sometimes it can be a trade secret, sometimes it can be a design patent, sometimes it can be industrial design, it will be a patent. And you have to be very clear with your claims. So what are the different claims? Don't say very vaguely that we will develop the technology and license it. Most people don't spend any time on this. They will just say that we will license it. But to take it to the licensing and validation, you need to have some technology validated and how you are going to do. Please, if you are going to say that you want to license, how you are going to take to the licensing should be charted out here. So as you can see here, this is a pheromone similar to the pheromones. They are just soon after MSc they have applied, and they have very clearly given that these are the novel components. These are the things which we are going to apply for the patent. These are our claims. Please be very clear, and you can also repeat the novelty component here, because novelty is a inherent part of the intellectual property. Sometimes the innovation may be incremental. Nothing to worry. You have to specify what is the improvement over the existing systems very clearly, and also you can emphasize the same in the business plan as well, how we are going to use it to take it to the market. Though the innovation is not disruptive, with the incremental innovation, how we are going to make an impact and enter the market. With this, I stop here, and now I will request if Vikraman is there to speak few words about the BAG program.
I'm here, yes. Hello, everyone. So I used to manage the BIG program a long time back, from 2012 to 2014 or so, when the BIG program just started. So at that time, we had only 3 BIG partners, and we used to get about 200 applications. So now I think there are 7 or 8 BIG partners, and the total number of applications is 700 or 800. So you can imagine that the complexity the competition has increased, but the number of candidates getting funded has not gone up 5 times. But the number of applications have gone up 5 times. So you have to ensure that you are much better prepared. The other thing for medical devices is a lot of applications which came in those days, they would have been looked at as novel, whereas some of these applications have gotten funded over the last 8-9 years, which means that you need to be very thorough about your competitive analysis. Make sure that similar proposals have not been submitted in the past. Make sure that your proposal is unique enough, and you are able to differentiate yourself sufficiently. Especially if you're working on medical devices, there is a very good chance that a similar proposal has been submitted before, has even been funded before. So you're actually not just going up against your current pool of applicants, you're going up against a whole pool of people who have been funded through this program before. So it becomes very important that you differentiate yourself, you state your value proposition, and you state your differentiation very clearly. Now, for example, a major problem that we see is people say, I'm building a new diagnostic for something. Now, this diagnostic might already exist. So you will have to show how your proposal is going to be much better, like 10 times better. Is it 10 times better in terms of sensitivity? Is it 10 times better in terms of how specific you are in detecting these disease conditions? Or is it 10 times cheaper? Or is it going to be much more easier to that you don't need a doctor to operate it? You can use any healthcare worker to do it. So you will have to be very specific about what is the new value you are bringing. And please always be under the assumption that there will be others working on a similar to solve the same problem. And that's where you need to build this whole case for yourself about how your value creation here to all the other people, right? That is something that you need to take care of. Put together a bunch of resources that will help you identify all of these gaps in your proposal. And we have that framework ready for you. Pratik will be talking about that framework that we have, and that's open information. So open resources, you can take it and use it. So we have compiled that based on our 8-9 years of running the BIG program. We have put together these resources, which we think will help guide you and how to write, structure, and deliver the proposal in the best possible manner, right? So that's it from me, and back to Vishu.
Thank you, Vikraman. And now I will request Pratik to share the info regarding the resources which Vikraman is mentioning.
Good morning, everyone. I'll just take a moment to share my screen, and then I will present. So after the presentation, I will be sharing this PPT itself with all of you so that you can benefit from it. Like Vikraman mentioned, we have compiled a bunch of resources. So, and we have named it tutorials at IKP Eden. And since we are here for BIG, there's a dedicated section for grant application writing. It can be used for BIG as well as other grant programs. The basic pointers or topics which are which you will see in these in the grant application writing section is the first is the basic process. You'll find dedicated sample application, big application, and template for novelty table. And how do you define your milestones, and a grant writing 101 video series. So we'll go with understanding the process and FAQs. So this is a set of first read. Since you have some time, you can actually dwell deeper into this into this document. This basically will also prepare you for what you are going to face once you get the grant. So it is basically divided into the sections of applying for the grant, due diligence, post due diligence, agreement signing, project submission reports, and FAQs. This contains basic templates. These will, at various stages, you will find basic templates and checklists that are required at each stage. Grant writing 101 is a video series. It's 11-part videos of around 15 minutes each, which was delivered by Dr. Sachendra Mukherjee and Dr. Sanjay Saxena. Applying from for the grant, a big sample form is there. You can simply click on the link on this presentation. You'll find these three documents and one folder. So the first one is the big guide. This application, this is same as the application form that you fill while applying for the big grant. This guides you about how to answer the questions which are there. For example, proposal summary, so how do you structure your answer? How do you describe, how do you introduce the problem statement? How do you introduce the problem, the solution that you have for the problem statement? What is your value proposition? And again, substantiate it with data to establish that the problem that you're solving is big enough. The next template that ready template that you will find is a template for novelty table. Novelty is a major factor while being reviewed in grant programs because that sets you apart from the rest. It will actually help you. It will actually help you position yourself differently against the existing solutions which are available. There are various factors on which you can do that, like affordability, like efficiency of the solution, and technical feasibility, how the technology itself. So those are the factors. They are described in much better detail. Then there is a budget planning sheet. It is a ready template. It's a spreadsheet. It will actually help you to plan your 18 months of big program, the expenses of the 18 months of big program month on month, and classify and help you classify each expense as per the budget heads. So this will actually help you to plan your project properly and ensure that the grant sum that you are receiving is utilized in the best possible manner. There will be a folder which contains FAQ for questionnaire which has been issued by BIRAC, program guidelines which has been issued by BIRAC, and a portal registration guideline which has again been issued by BIRAC. The portal registration guideline will be beneficial for the first time applicants. The remaining the program guidelines is basically a handbook of the big program which you can go ahead and read through. FAQs is basically a 5-page document, 33 questions, which you will face while filling your application forms. So hopefully they are already answered. And then there's one more link that you'll find in the big sample form link, which is how to set your milestones. Setting your milestones is the most important activity while applying for a grant, and hence what can be considered as a quantify examples of what can be considered as a quantifiable milestone, what can not be considered as a quantifiable milestone are illustrated over there. Apart from that, going forward, in case you get selected, there's a due diligence link. You can straight away go and see what are the documents that you might need based on the type of legal entity you are. There's a template of due diligence and budget document, which you can, the budget document is same as the one that was available in the previous one, in the previous slide. It will help you again plan your expenses better in the 18-month journey. And again, defining milestones. Post due diligence phase, basically it is a checklist of documents that have to be submitted, that might be asked, that you will have to submit before the agreement is signed, and you can actually receive the first tranche. Again, signing agreements, a checklist for that has been included in there as well. We have the milestone link has appeared 3 times in this presentation before. So why we have emphasized so much on this is because, one, it is the backbone of your grant application. Also, what exactly is expected of it should mean the same thing for all the everyone reading this the milestones, and it should not be prone to different interpretations. Again, it also helps your big partners or approvers of your grant sum to make quick decisions. So, and in the at the last, once you get into the grant, how do you report your milestones? How do you report your expenses? What should be a broad procurement policy of a startup, and the ethics to adhere to while running a startup? So these are the basic resources which are available. By the time this session ends, this presentation will be shared with you so that you can access these resources. And with this, over to you, Dr. Visu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pratik. And IKP also has a virtual incubation program, not just for BAZ. So we'll be happy to mentor you for your applications. Please write a separate email to us, and Pratik and I will be very happy to help you. Next, I will request HIMAC Healthcare, Prasad, to share his experience. And after that, I will request Suresh from Startoons Lab, and then Mano from Salboards, and Anmol from Ashwaved Tech, and Priyanjit. Priyanjit, is it okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please make your interactions brief, maybe like, as I mentioned, 3 slides and 5 minutes. So we will have time to answer queries from the applicants. Thank you very much. Prashad, I request you to start.
Yes, sir. Can I share my screen?
Please.
Sir, is my presentation visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. My name is Prasad Muddam. I'm founder and chief industrial designer of HIMAC Healthcare Private Limited. We are an offshoot from IIT Hyderabad, and currently we are working in maternal and child as our primary area. And we started our journey with phototherapy as our prime device, and our product is Anlight 360. It's an intelligent phototherapy system for neonatal jaundice. So this is our product. This is our problem area, and phototherapy, jaundice is the most neglected need, and this is the statistics about the jaundice. And then we have come up with a solution called Anlight 360, which able to solve all the existing problems with the critical jaundice cases. So I don't want to spend more time on my problem and solution. I'll explain why I'm here. So basically, why the one of the biggest thing what we consider for a big grant is our background work that we have done in the hospitals. So particularly the devices like ours, we had to have an extensive work on in the hospital, and we wanted to validate our need before even we apply for the grant. So if you are into a medtech devices, better you spend as much as time in the hospitals, or go and validate your problem across several setups wherever it is possible. Most of the hospitals that we visited, we didn't had a permission. We figured out our own way to go and enter and understand the understand and with the doctors and show us the problem. And also this definitely had helped us a lot in securing a BAG grant. And second thing is, how did we get the BAG grant in terms of particularly writing the grant. This is just before the grant, but later on, right now, currently where all of you are. and what did we do that helped us. So we just answered 3 questions: where, how, and when. So how to make Analyte 360, where to make Analyte 360, who will make Analyte 360. These are the 3 questions we just put before we write the grant. And for that, how to make Analyte 360. So we had we had figured out all the components list. These are around more than 1,000 component list. We could able to nail down our problem to that level. So we understood how to make that device. So if you want to make the device, what are the components you need? That is one set of a list. You just need to find, and there are so many websites where you can find components and all. That is all there. Then where to make Analyte 360. If you wanted to make Analyte 360, where will we make? So then we figured out, okay, for this process, which vendor we have to, for this process, we have which vendor we have. So we figured out all the vendor. We started talking to them, and we got all the quotations and estimations from those vendors, and we listed out that. That's helped us to exactly frame our project budget. So that also help you to figure out which manufacturing plant where you need to approach, where to go and talk, and which vendor to approach. So that if you can figure out these 3 things properly, you will get an entire list of things that you need to procure, and the list of vendors that you need to approach. So this will give a very good perspective for a panel in the BIG that we have done good enough background work to go forward. And this builds their confidence. That's what we felt. So with this, I wanted to end my session, my side.
Thank you very much, Prasad. And I must mention that during Prasad, the BIG presentation, all the panel said, please stop at one slide where they have listed all the components, including, very specific nuts and bolts, which will go into the system that will help the movement of hinges. So if you are thorough with your process, as Pratik has mentioned, if you put all your resources together, you can present a case like this. And I would request you to just check your presentation. Thank you very much, Prasad, for sharing your experience. And now I request Suresh to share his experience.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, all. And thanks, Visu sir, for all the support you and IKP has always offered us. Yeah, so I'll just share my screen, sir.
Please.
Yeah, is my screen visible, sir? Just a confirmation.
Yes.
Great. Yeah. So my name is Suresh. I am one of the co-founders of Startoon Labs Private Limited, a medical device startup based out of Hyderabad. I am an engineer with around 15 years of experience and alumnus of IIT Madras and IIM Calcutta. I'm very honored to talk to all the aspirants of BIG, applicants of BIG for this call. And we were fortunate to get the BIG 13 with support from IKP. So let me talk to you some very quick details about the product that we have developed. We have actually invented a product called as Physi, which is for physiotherapy and rehabilitation segment. It basically collects some important metrics about the performance of the sessions in physiotherapy. And then we have detailed proprietary algorithms in the server, which analyze the data and provide the important metrics for recovery of the patients. So that's a product that we have developed. Quick introduction about our startup. We are incorporated. We were incorporated in November 2017, and we are recognized MSME and a registered startup under DPIIT, incubated by VHub Government of Telangana, accelerated by T-Hub and MEITY Government of India. Lots of other awards also we got for this, and we are associated with. We got the BIG 13, as I mentioned. Thanks to BIRAC and DBT and IKP, we have been associated for more than 2 years now. So our supporting partner institution is IKP Knowledge Park. I'll just tell about IKP at the end of the presentation so that everybody has good idea as to how IKP supports in helping startups. Okay, so my entire presentation is based on one important aspect as to how do you communicate the problem statement to the jury. It's very, very important. And we have to be, as Visu told in the beginning, and as Vikraman told, the title and all should be very, very small and crisp. Don't make the title very big. And that is very, very important, because it communicates as to what we are planning to do in the next 18 months. So please give some time to design the title with minimum number of words, still not losing the value proposition of your product and the work. So you can start by introducing yourself and the core team. Team matters a lot, because even during our BIG presentations, I personally feel that a good amount of weightage was given to the core team, because ours is a medical product, and knowledge of electronics, knowledge of algorithms plays very, very important role. So irrespective of whether it's a medical device or any other field for which you're applying, I think the core team should be well versed with the technology aspects, design aspects of the product, because at the end of the day, you're building something, and the technology cannot be outsourced. You cannot say that my product will be manufactured or designed by a third party. It's impossible. So you should have the core expertise. So please ensure your team is very good. And then what we were also given suggestion by IKP when we were presenting almost 2 years back is, if it's possible, please make a nice 1-minute explainer video, explaining the problem statement and your solution also. It can be a graphics part. You can make a 3D CAD model of your product, which you are imagining in your mind that you will produce after 18 months. So something like that. So please make a small explainer video with text, nice pictures, a 1-minute video, even before you start introducing about the real problem and the market research that you did. I think that has a really, really, good impact. And it will grab the attention of the jury, because that, and one more important advantage of making the video is, see, you give a lot of time and thought when you make the video, in which case you will have sufficient room to explain the problem statement to the jury, which might not be possible in the pressure that you have when you present to the jury. So taking immense time to make 1-minute video and showing it helps a lot to grab the attention of the jury, and also gives them clarity. Very, very important. And as Prasad really well pointed out, you need to see the gap. There is no shortcut to it, and there is no fooling around that. The gap has to be really identified, and if it's a medical device or it's an agri-tech product or whatever the field, you have to go onto the field even before you apply for the BIG grant. And you should have some sufficient data. You must have spoken to 100 people. And I'm just giving an example that depends upon the field. You should speak to the real users and understand, is there really a gap? Or is it that you are interested in building something and you have the knowledge you're building? That will not help. You should know the gap. And to know the gap, you should do a real market research with data documented and projected onto the screen when you are presenting to the jury. Because this adds credibility to your work, because they know that, okay, you have put your feet on the real field, you got the problem statement, and then you're trying to invent something to address the gap. Very, very, very important, as Prasad also did, and we have also done. We spoke to hundreds of physiotherapists even before we froze the features of the product. And yeah, a follow-up was, show numbers, like you have spoken to 100 people, 90 people have shown interest, or 90 people shared that, this problem is really there and they don't have a solution, something like that. You need to collate the data from the market and then put it on the slide. It adds immense credibility to you again, apart from the team and the explained video that you show. And the last one, let me tell you, it is very, very good if you apply to BIG with at least a basic proof of concept. I know it's not possible in biotechnology, making reagents, etc. I don't know about that, so I'm none to comment. But if it's a medical device and it's a product that you're developing, and if you're an engineer, I think it's of great value if you can make a very, very tabletop POC. See, because you're getting the BIG to build the product, so nobody will expect you to have the product in place. But as Visu sir also told, Prasad was knowing the nuts and bolts, size and dimensions. It's very, very important. You cannot get that till you make a very, very crude POC in your lab. So if you have that, you can get that to your presentation, or if it's a bulky product, make a demo and make a video and show that video. This gives a lot of weightage again, because the jury knows that the team is capable of building something which they are planning to build. So I think by showing these 5 aspects that I showed on my slide, you can make a note of it. It had added immense value to Statoon Labs and to myself and my wife Maitri, who's also the co-founder. We have presented, and I felt, and these were some of the inputs were actually given to us by IKP, themselves when they were helping us, in reviewing the entire thing. So with these things in place, when you show and present the other details, I'm sure jury's attention will be grabbed, and you'll have some weightage. So before I end, let me thank IKP. I think I should tell you about IKP. It's very, very, very important. IKP is not just, and I'm not just over exaggerating, I'm just being very honest. So IKP is not just a BIG partner. IKP has been a very, very crucial part of my startup from the beginning, because we have got so many inputs from the experts who are there at IKP in different fields. Visu sir himself is there. Then we have a mentor called as Ranajit Sen. Then we have Dr. Ambu Chaturvedi. We have Vikraman. We have so many other people at IKP. We have Deepan Vita madam, the chairman of IKP. They have all been very, very, very supportive to Statoon Labs. And, I am very happy to say today that we have been able to, get assistance and help from IKP, and they have recognized us. So please consider IKP as not only a BIG partner, but IKP as a brand comes with lots of mentors who, whose mentorship will take your company to where you are, from idea stage to commercialization stage. I think with this, I want to end, Visu sir. I will stop sharing my screen. And if you have any more queries regarding BIG application or any queries, feel free to contact me on my number or send me an email. I'll be more than happy to share any more experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Suresh. I must say that, when Suresh came with his first very crude version to our office, almost more than 2 years back, 2 young engineers from IIT Madras. So they had an idea, and when we gave the feedback, they took 20 days, they didn't turn up. After 20 days, they came with all the things and a final presentation. The team is very detailed, they pay attention to the detail. I'm very happy that their product is almost in the market, in the hospitals. Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you very much, sir.
I request Anmol or Mano. Mano, yeah, please.
Yes. Yeah. Hi everyone. Myself, I'm Mano Satyasai from Solbots Technologies Private Limited. So first of all, I thank IKP team and Visu sir for giving this opportunity to share about our BIG experiences, so that the future BIG award, the applicants can be benefited from this. So we are incorporated in November 14th in 2018, and we are a BIG 12 grantee partnered by IKP Knowledge Park. So these are the two products that we have currently working on, whereas the prosthetic arm is a medical robotics, whereas for which we actually got this BIG grant. So the problem that we have addressed in this prosthetics are, so in general, most of advanced prosthetics, the product is been controlled using muscle signals. So that's how the existent technologies are working. But whereas in market, the real gap is where not every patient has their muscle to control their advanced prosthetics, because amputation is very random in nature. So we cannot expect everyone to have a healthier muscle. So that's where our problem has been identified. And so we have solved this problem using our own patent pending unique technology, which is based out of a smart ring. So this we have presented to BIG, and we have we have granted in 12th call. So this is one more product that we are currently working on, which is into food robotics. So coming to our BIG story, while applying the BIG, it's in 2018, and we are in BTech third year, I guess. So that's a very young stage, young age to apply a grant like BIG, but we never expected, or we never thought of getting a BIG grant in the very early stages like that. Fortunately, we got it. So during the application, we are a team of 4 engineers who are from different engineering disciplines, not just mechanical or electronics. So we have a team from different backgrounds like electronics, computer science, mechanical engineers, and IT professionals, etc. So and the junior teams as well. So the time when we got the grant, we are in the final year of BTech. So one major advantage that I can tell why we got this BIG grant is till we have applied the BIG, like we already had a proof of concept, as Suresh mentioned. So we had the advantage of building a prototype which can actually validate our concept before going to a grant like BIG. And that has played a major role in our journey, so that we have convinced, I mean, we have proved that to the panelists, uh, telling that like we already have developed a prototype and we are good to go for a product version. So that really helped us in uh, getting the grant in 2019. So these are the few key points that we considered that played a major role in getting a BIG grant. So where one need to have a very clear vision about the technology in detail, like because the second round of application, like the screening process has a technical round where you need to mention clear details about the technology, and you need to be more sure about your product, I mean your customers who are actually going to be the end user of your product and their nature. So in our case, amputees are our customers, and different financial backgrounds of amputees is one of the essential thing that we need to consider while presenting to the BIG team. And the business scalability and sustainability is one big question that we have encountered in technical round. So one need to have a big clarity about like how long they're planning to go with their technology and with their product. So that is one thing. And the team plays a major role here, because if you're telling you want to build some product, but there is no correlation between your team expertise and your product, then there will be a conflict there. So in our case, since it's a core technology product, so we have a advantage of presenting different backgrounds of engineers, so that we can convince the panelists that we are able to do the product. And one need to have a good clarity about their budget of project and its complete justification. So these are the, I mean, if one like if you are able to be very sure and very clear about these things, I think it's easy to get a BIG grant. And the idea plays a key role, where one need like you should not have a single doubt in your idea, or if you have any doubt, you should get it cleared before you are applying to the BIG grant. And that's where IKP helped us a lot, because initially in our very beginning stages, like we don't have a clear idea, like I mean we have a lot of doubts in our product, because since we are in the BTech stage. But when we approached IKP team, Visu sir and Ramji sir, so they really helped us in shaping our idea and making things in right direction. So that plays a major role in getting a successful BIG grant. Yeah, so that's about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mano. And I also want to mention that one of the team member has completed engineering. So you must have at least one graduate in your team. Thank you, Mano.
Thank you, sir.
And now may I request Anmol?
Yes, hi Vishu.
Yes.
So good morning, guys. My name is Anmol Ajay Saxena. I have a startup called Ashwa Wearable Technologies. Let me take a minute to just share my screen with you, please. Okay. So our startup Ashwa is mainly focused on solving the problems of skeletal-muscular injuries through wearable technologies and data sciences. The project that we have got big grant that was in the call 15 was for a project called Fitness Assess. This device is a clinically clinically accurate sensor-based technology for monitoring the progress of patients, specifically chronic knee patients, like for osteoarthritis or pre and post TKR, total knee replacement or partial knee replacement surgery patients. What the solution basically encompasses is 4 wireless motion sensors that can be strapped onto the patient's thighs and shanks. And then through a series of exercises, data like range of motion, proprioception, static balance, etc., can be monitored. These are given in form of data analytics report, which can be shared to a physiotherapist remotely, just like a blood test. And then all the physiotherapy exercises can be taken remotely over our customized rehabilitation Cure app. We have a second product, which is kind of an offspring of Fitness. It's called Mudra. This Mudra is a wearable device for spine posture correction. It is based on Pavlov's theory of classical conditioning, which every time you slouch when you're sitting, it gives you a vibrational feedback so that it reminds you to sit up straight. This is also connected with a mobile phone app, and we are already we're already selling this product now. So I want to quickly talk to you now. The intent that I have been invited to talk to you all is because I want to share how big applicants can show progress on their projects. As a big applicant, I had applied for call 14 and then only reapplied in call 15 to get the call 15 successfully. Some key elements that had happened or some things that went wrong in call 14 were basically: one, I did not do on field as thoroughly as Suresh or the other entrepreneurs before you spoke today. I went with around 20 or 30 physiotherapists and orthopedic feedback. It was not as comprehensive to demonstrate clinical utility, and I did not have a clear picture about the solution that I would like to offer and that my customers actually need and want to purchase. Because of this, my application basically in call 14 fell apart. Second thing that went wrong for my call 14 was I did not really choose the correct big partner. I chose a center that was more inclined towards microbiology and pharmaceutical solutions instead of medical device solutions. The third thing that went wrong was the patent strategy. So while I did not have the clinical utility in place, I did not also have a clear solution that I wanted to present to the big committee, and I wanted to build as part of my startup. That in turn led me to not have a very clear patent strategy where I can bulletproof my technology as well as my position in the market as a startup. So what happened in call 15 now, which helped me become successful, or rather successfully get the big grant? First was the most key important element was selecting the correct big partner. When I selected IKP as my big partner, I have a medical device. I knew that I need to show the correct problem statement, the validation for the problem statement, the product that or the solution that I'm creating, and the basically the way to present all of that into a very successful 8-minute presentation. With IKP, I was able to get very good guidance. I have a few photos to share with you. With the help of IKP, I developed a question paper, took it to 100 patients. In fact, Suresh was the person who spoke to my co-founder Sandeep and told him that this is the bare essential that you should start a company with. So with his mentoring and many other senior entrepreneur mentoring, we took these question papers, we took just a simple paper pen sketch out of our solution, and we started validating the problem statements. We also over a period of 2 to 3 months used whatever we had available with Arduino and the most basic sensors, put it together, put it into a proof of concept, and started talking to patients and physiotherapists and orthopedic, and started recording their feedback in an Excel sheet. Then, with the help of IKP and a little initial grant that we got from DST Nidhi Prayas, we built an alpha prototype. IKP sponsored a stall at Global Bio India 2019. We took our fitness devices on the stall. We, in front of all the BIRAC officials and everybody, we actually started taking data from our solution, and we actually started recording the accuracy and validity of the product. All of this in turn boiled down to me having a better picture of the clinical utility, the problem statement, the solution, the feasibility of developing the solution, and each and every element that will go into my solution eventually, which in turn helped me to present my proposal in a very strong and concrete manner. The second thing that we did was took help from experts at IKP Prime to help us conduct a quick patent search and help us identify the correct valuation and commercialization plan for our patent. The third thing that I did was basically our startup did not let the lack of funding and resources stop us from doing all of this background work. It's not just about achieving the big grant and the 50 lakh rupees. It's also the more important objective here is to ensure that your startup keeps going, keeps up, and keeps going up and onwards. Towards this, we used interns from our incubation labs, which we took them for a small period of time, got their help on R&D. We did not have to remunerate in a very big or in a very, a big paycheck or something. We also were able to get our work done, and intern also help our interns obtain knowledge and on-field experience. The second thing was we freely used all the readily available resources with our senior entrepreneurs, with IKP laboratories. You require AI or ML solutions. You require help on making algorithms to extract sensor data. You require help just to get the sensors. You require help to get 3D printed casings. Trust me, IKP and all the entrepreneurs in the ecosystem in IKP have it all. And you don't need to pay that much for it for a prototype. The third thing that we also did was we started attending a lot of networking sessions, started getting feedback from the mentors, from the senior entrepreneurs within the network and outside. And as Suresh sir mentioned, just take a table type prototype. That is all you require to actually present a solid solution to the committee. The fourth most important thing that I want to share with you that really, really immensely contributed towards our success is that we learned a big lesson. Nothing happens within the four walls of an office space. You have to step out of the office. You have to put your name, your solution, your brand out there. Just sitting in four walls of an office space. Of course, I know it's COVID-19. We still are in a transition phase to get out to start networking physically, but you have a lot of virtual webinars. Please attend them. Please make yourself known to the ecosystem so that when you step in front of the committee, they already somewhat have an awareness of who you are, where you're coming from. And over that period of time, over that 6 to 8 months that you've networked with them, every interaction you have with them, you show your progress with them. And that builds more confidence and trust that you are here to stay, you are doing your best, and you will succeed as a startup. Finally, I really do not know how we can thank IKP. We went with a failed attempt at Big Grant. We went with a very rough prototype proof of concept 6 months before, and with the hand-holding of Vishu, Dipanvita ma'am, and Vikraman sir, and also with the hand-holding of a lot of our senior entrepreneurs and a lot of our senior startups, we were able to actually make less mistakes than a startup normally would, and we were able to get things so quickly. Whether it was help on a sensor or a 3D printed casing, or whether it was to even make the presentation, what elements to put in the presentation. I pitched to Vishu 5 times before the big presentation because I was very nervous. And each one of these 5 times, Vishu sat down patiently and listened to me with the same enthusiasm. So I just wanted to share what advantages I've got with IKP. And that's all. Please do let me know if you have any doubts or discussions.
Thank you, Anmol. And I would like to thank Suresh for this. Suresh is next to our city office. So when actually they came all the way from Bangalore and Vellore, I think Suresh immediately agreed to meet them in next 1 hour and helped them. He didn't treat them like a competitor. He treated them like his juniors. Thank you, Suresh, so much for your help. And they're doing so well. Thanks to all your initial support. And I want to mention that we are very proud of IKP Eden, one of the best engineering space out there. Today we are focusing on mostly on the engineering side, but we also have excellent support system for the pharma and biotech, and we will be conducting further sessions on agri, pharma, biotech later on. Now I would request Priyanjit from Logitech Logi AI to share his experience.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good morning. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just share my screen. Oh, where's my screen? Okay, so good morning everyone. So I just have a very short presentation. So firstly, a bit about Logi.ai. So we are an AutoML healthcare imaging platform. We sleep, eat, breathe images and AI predictions on images. The project that we had got our big grant in the big
Priyanjit, could you please keep it in full screen?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, so the project that we had got the big grant in the Big Call 16 was for our malaria diagnosis imaging platform. So I would less focus on what we are doing and more focus on the journey. So the journey basically started in 2019. I'm a 2019 pass out. I was finishing my MBA, and that is when I sort of wanted to build this platform for creating predictions on images. So we were based out of Chhattisgarh, and over there in Chhattisgarh, we found out that in the rural areas there were not many pathologists who can actually diagnose. So we thought to ourselves that in India there is so much work that is happening in medical devices. But whereas if we see tele-imaging platforms, yes, there is a lot in radiology, but there is not a lot in pathology, or there is not a lot in dentistry and other forms of healthcare. And that was the inspiration for us to work on images and start building an unified AI platform, which Logi.ai today is, which is working on pathology in malaria, cervical cancer, as well as in dentistry in our teledentistry platform. A couple of weeks back, I showed our dentistry, AI-based dentistry platform demo to Visu sir also, and we got some valuable feedbacks from them as well. So this is our website. We are right now doing some commercialization also in India, Africa, and in few other countries as well. I just have one slide which I wanted to focus about how I got into this. So in 2019, I remember I was introduced to IKP by Suresh sir again over here, whom I have known since 2019. So I would break the entire stages of Big Grant actually into 5 steps. Because applying for big is not like applying for any other competition or for any other grant. I would term it as that, like just like we had our engineering exams, or we had our MBA exams, and we have to prepare 3 months or 6 months. Similarly, I think that is the kind of mindset that is required for preparation of big as well. So if you are not willing to go through that entire 4 to 6 months of cycle, then I believe it is really tough, because as you would have heard the other speakers also before me mention that, they realized multiple mistakes. Similarly, I did some mistakes also. So I had first applied in Big 15 when I just finished my MBA, and then only I had applied to it. But unfortunately, for a very small whisker, we missed Big 15. I was quite disappointed that time, because I had actually gone through this entire cycle of 3-4 months of preparation and trying to give my best, but we missed by a whisker. And that is where I would focus that IKP has been one of the best partners, and especially Dr. Visu, Dr. Ambut Chaturvedi and everyone. Because for Big 16, I remember I was, not being very hopeful that I would be able to make it again. But it is Dr. Visu who inspired us that why should you not apply again, learn from your mistakes and make it happen this time. So in each of the stages, I will just go through them very quickly. First is the mental preparation. So big is not something that, you can just apply with an idea and you will get that. So if you are really looking to apply for big, I would say it follows at least 2 months of groundwork. Now, what really you need to do in the groundwork is, a lot of us come from engineering backgrounds, or some of you might come from clinical backgrounds also. You need to make sure that the gap that you have identified, you have done sufficient market research for it to see that whether there is a need for it or not. So when we were based out of Chhattisgarh, we actually went to a lot of the rural areas and the PSCs to speak with them and see that whether there was a need for it or not. Not exactly that whether they would pay for it or not exactly a commercial fit, but at least whether there was a product need for it or not, or whether the problem actually existed for it or not. And let's say that if you had got a grant, then whether somebody was willing to collaborate with you to form that product or not. So I remember when we were doing our initial meetings with IKP, they had guided us that, one is to get a letter of intent from some partners who would give you data. Because a lot of people today say that they want to build AI products on images and everything, but fundamentally data is very, very crucial. So without data, if you spend the next 6 months finding a right partner or a right collaborator who would give you data, it would be a wastage of time. So you need to, when you are applying for the grant, make sure that you tell the committee that, this is our idea, this is the groundwork that we have already done, and here is a partner or a collaborator who could provide us with the data. The next part is, while you are doing your submission, okay, and you prepare your presentation, I would say that right now it is not just about the technological logic, it is also about whether your idea has a business feasibility or not. So when you are preparing your presentation, you need to focus on so there's a list of check boxes. So whether the technological logic that you are providing is a novel solution or not, whether it makes enough business sense or enough feasibility or not, whether you have the right team or not, which TRL stage you are at currently. So you need to identify that, as I said previously also, you cannot just go with an idea stage. Some of the previous speakers said that even if you can do a diagram, or some of them had made a videos. So for us also, we had created a rough prototype of our platform, the Logi.ai platform, which is there currently. So we had already built the portal, I would say 20% of the portal. It looked very shabby, but it sort of gave a direction that, this is the kind of platform that we are envisioning. So you need to make sure that when you are going for the present, when you are doing this submission, you have the right team in place, you have technical mentors, business mentors, you know whether the solution is novel or not, whether it is patentable or not, which TRL stage you are at currently, and whether the business is feasible or not, whether you have spoken with enough people or not. So all this data and everything you need to gather and put it in your submission, put it in your presentation. Now let's say that your presentation is selected. So then comes the interview preparation part, which ideally I would say that you get around 14 days. This is where I think between the first attempt and the second attempt made a huge difference. Because in the first attempt, I think I did not focus a lot on the interview preparation. I thought that, okay, because I did not have much experience. In the second time, what happened was, I remember very vividly that before the actual presentation, we had mock interviews, which were organized by IKP, Dr. Ambuj, Dr. Visu, and many other panel members were also there. Dipanita ma'am was also there. And they actually sort of, asked us very, very valid questions like the why, the how, the when. A lot of the times we lose, in the technology so much that we are not able to answer a lot of fundamental questions. So I think the mock interview sessions actually help you realize that, so that you are able to answer the fundamental questions. And very, very important, and that is where I think there was a huge difference. I would also like to point out that, in our mock interview, whatever questions we got, actually 70 or 80% of similar questions we got in the actual interview also. So the actual interview was actually less strenuous than the mock interview for us. And during the actual interview day, what generally happens is you go with all your preparation. You need to make sure that, you have covered all the check boxes that IKP or your other mentors have guided you. But make sure that you communicate well, because it is very important that you get a small period of time. You need to make sure that during that small period of time, you spend some equal amount of time in all the different checkboxes. So that is where keep your cool. And I would say that, big is more about a very, very much logical way of hard work and preparation. If you follow all these steps, it's a 4 to 6 months journey as per me. I'm pretty sure that anybody and everybody can crack big. If we have done it with the help of partners like IKP, I believe everybody can do it. So on that note, thanks a lot. You can reach out to us for any queries. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyanjit. And I want to mention this time it is an online interview and they have to share a pre-recorded video, PowerPoint with narration, or a video with a clear sound.
Okay.
And this time it is compulsory to submit the PPT along with the application, and there is a clear weightage for the PPT submitted. So I request all the BIG 18 applicants to make a note of this thing. And now I would request Suresh, Priyanjit, Mano, Anmol, Prasad, Vikraman to switch on their video and take any questions from the audience.
I just wanted to add a few things after hearing out these startups. So I'm guessing all of the people who spoke today are active BIG grantees going through their 18-month process, right? So maybe just wanted to add what the review committee will be looking at post your BIG also. Like when you go talk to investors and when you go talk to other people for fundraising, it is always about risk reduction, right? Even in the case of BIG, you are supposed to pay back the 50 lakhs in royalties. So in some ways they are an investor. It is not that this is a free grant that you're getting anymore. So you have to look at returning the funds in some way to BIG itself. And also when you are raising the next round of funds, there are a few things to be taken care of. The teams, the investors are always looking at how to reduce the risk, right? For them, it is about if I invest amount of money, will I get back 5x or will I get back 10x, right? So if I invest 1 crore, will I get back 5 crores at the end of 3 years or at the end of 5 years, right? So the investor is always looking at how to reduce risk. And in the case of a startup, there are multiple types of risk. There is the science risk, there is the technology risk, there is the people risk and the execution risk and the market risk. So you will have to, in your presentation, show which one is your weakest, right? If you simply go there and say, I have to build a mobile app, that means there is not much technology risk, but there is a very high risk and an execution risk. Whereas if I go there and say, I have this new drug that can solve COVID-19 within 3 minutes, then people are like, have you actually established the science or are you just making a statement? Are you just making a claim? So there is for the investing committee or the BIG selection committee, that's there, the science risk will be very big. So you have to know in your proposal, where is the possible biggest gap? Is it the science or is it the technology? When I say science and technology, I'm talking about science being at a lab level or at a one prototype level. And when I'm saying technology, about making a affordable or deployable, easy to use solution. So that's how I'm differentiating science and technology. And then, of course, people. Suresh emphasized quite a bit on how the team's strength is pretty important. So if you go there and say, yes, it is super complicated science, it is super complicated technology, but we have a great team that can deliver, right? That is how you address the people risk or the execution risk. Execution risk also includes that 18-month plan, right? So that's where you say, this is how we are going to build it out, and we are going to build it out the normally what I see in proposals is, sorry. Normally what we see in proposals is people will say CAD design completed, milestone number 2, 5 prototypes built, milestone number in 6 months or something like that. So, but you need to be a bit more specific about what it is that you're doing. Is it manufacturable prototype? Is it functional prototype that can be used in a clinical setting? What will be the outcomes? What point is the project on a successful trajectory, right? You don't want to keep hitting the wrong problem, addressing the wrong issues. You want to know what are the critical parameters that will help you address each of these product development risks, whether it's on the technology front, whether it's on the electronics front, is it on the biology front, or is it the deploying question? That you need to be careful about. The other thing is you may want to introduce what is called a TPP or a target product profile. This is something that is that clearly puts out in one slide what you are trying to build out, right? It makes it easy for the jury members to pick, and they will also understand. So when you can match that TPP with all the risks associated, then they will say, yes, this team is sensible enough to address those particular risks and build out a perfect product as per the target profile. What is the one other quality that you need to imbibe in, and this is not necessary for the BIG presentation per se, but iterations. Like you heard how Suresh came back in 20 days with a much more advanced iteration. You heard about Anmol, who also went through so many different iterations. So iteration has to be a way of life. You cannot say that I will do it once and I will hit the target immediately. It may not happen that way. You will have to go through multiple iterations. So minimize risk, get your target product profile in place, and be open to iterations. Iterations will happen either when you get feedback or you do customer interviews, but please imbibe iteration as a way of life. And then maybe in one of the other sessions, we can bring in some of these more mature BIG people like our DOZIs and INITOs about what happens post BIG. So BIG is not the end goal. You have to plan yourself for that longer journey. So maybe we can have one session around that also. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Vikraman, for summarizing all the points. And now it is open to audience. So you may please unmute yourself and ask a question.
Hey, so can I ask what is the current scheme? Like if you are provided funding, is it the same terms as before, or could you go over that a little bit?
So now it is the royalty. So when you start selling your product, you have to pay back 5% of it until you pay back the amount you received as a grant.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And this is from the project which is funded for that. So if you're a company, you have a multiple products, the royalty against this particular product is what is used for calculation at the moment.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, Dr. Bhagat.
Thank you.
VIT.
Dr. Bhagat, good morning. Your particular question is very specific to your technology and IP. We had a long answer and we will share it with you separately, sir.
Thank you.
So I don't want to discuss those specific things about your IP, but we will share the detailed answer with you. Thank you very much, sir. And there were several questions, actually 40 questions are there. So mostly regarding the IP, what should be the IP slide? So as I have mentioned, please specify the profile of your product. I will just share my screen very quickly just to show again what can be an ideal slide. Please mention all the features you want to claim. Don't just mention that we are filing patent. So that makes no sense to somebody who doesn't know what is your technology. So please mention, so this is already a granted patent. So this is how they have presented at that time. This is what will be our uniqueness, and this is what our unique features, and this is what our patent will be. So the presentation is in a within NDA, so you don't have to worry. Many people are asking, can we share the details? Yes, if you're asking for 50 lakh rupees, you must share the details. And so with the applicant permission, after he granted the patent only, I am sharing this. So you can imagine that BIRAC will be very taking care of the confidentiality. So, and one more thing coming from many teams is, to what extent should they mention about the technology in the presentation and the Q&A session? You have to mention as many details as possible in the slides, because this is a technology related grant, and you have to emphasize on the innovativeness. Cut down the introduction, make it short, emphasize on your solution. You may type the questions, or you may unmute yourself and ask. So we have 5 grantees here, so they will be able to answer as well.
Hi.
Yes, please.
My name is Srinivas Parisha. Yeah, my question is, actually my project is divided into two parts. One is kits, and the other is to provide to the farmers all disease resistant seeds. So in the next part, I got a friend, and he is a hatcheries person, so I can manage it. In the first part where the kits I have to develop, I need a like a incubator or something like that who can help me to the kits. Kits is not so easy things. We have to go very long, and my idea is very good, but still I am thinking I need a incubator.
Okay, Srinivas, if I understood your question correctly, you want to provide disease-resistant fish
seeds for shrimp.
Yeah, seeds like this starting material for aquaculture.
Yeah.
Yes, so there are several centers available which focus on the aquaculture, and I will share those names with you.
Okay, sir. In the second part is okay for me, but I need the incubation in the first part.
Yes.
Where the
yeah, you have to approach those places which are having these facilities, and I will share those names with you. You have to write to them, and they will be happy to help.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Abhijit.
Yes, sir. Sir, I had a question regarding timeline, sir, because again, like we just received another grant, so we can't clash milestones, right? So how much in the future should we plan the milestone, like 6 months, 8 months? Because again, big comes in like 5 months, if I'm not wrong, after the application, right? So how long in your calendar you should plan ahead of when starting the milestones?
Okay, so if you are asking that, if you are successful, yes. So if you're asking, from what time you should start planning for the starting of the project, I would say 6 months. And if you already received a grant, you should remember that for the same objectives,
6 months.
Yeah, and you should not mention the same.
No, yeah, sir. Like right now we are.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, sir, that is why I was asking. that is why I was asking, because recently we got a grant, so we had to give a disclaimer and like the whole new set of objectives that such so and so are not being used anywhere else. So my question was 6 months. You are saying like future milestones I have to give for this.
Yes, and this is true for any grant. For the same objectives, you cannot claim funding for two
That
different.
we know. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello. One thing you may want to take care of is your money may not come in 6 months exactly. So you just assume that it will come in 6 months and design your milestones that way. Because realistically, if you up January, you're gonna realistically, best case scenario, get it by August or July. So just plan for starting from July. But at the time of getting the money, you can tell the committee that my milestones have changed because there has been a delay and I've done more work, and that will be looked upon favorably. So, and very simply, like Vishu said, you cannot do what is called double billing because that is unethical. So you can't show the same expense to two granting organizations. I don't think any more clarification is needed on that.
Hello, doctor.
Yes,
hello.
Please.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. Good morning. My name is Dr. Franklin. I have given a long title during my application. So is there any way that I can, is it okay to change that, cut short the title during
Yes.
presentation?
Simple answer is yes. So whatever you have submitted in the application is for the initial evaluation, online evaluation. You have been shortlisted. Now you can make all the changes, whatever you think you can improve from the feedback received and the reviewer comments. You can change the present application, the PPT what you are going to submit.
Also the budget also I can change, right?
Total amount remains the same. Allocation changes can be made.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hello, doctor.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Dr. Vishwanathan.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Dr. Ramo. I wish to meet you personally. What are your timings at the Secunderabad office?
So before meeting, I would request you to share a PPT. Please share the PPT in the format requested. You have received an email from Pratik, right?
Yeah.
So please share your
Mr.
PPT.
Pratik.
Please share the PPT in the BIRAC format and we will call you and schedule an appointment.
I will send you in an email to you, okay?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, hello everyone. I am Dr. Nusrat Hassan. I thank all the speakers for this wonderful information. I have a question that I am planning like to write for BIG. I have not yet started, but the first stage of the work I think is completed because it is based on my PhD work. I have completed all the in vitro work there. I want to take it a step further, but it involves testing of small molecules that comes under what I guess hearing the speaker that it's not a kind of kit development, but it is based on testing the small molecules further for a disease like neurodegenerative diseases. I work on brain disorders. So how would that come up in BIG? So is it possible to just get the animal studies grant from BIG and not it doesn't translate into a product in 18 months? Is it possible?
Okay, I will answer here. So when a long project like this is there, you can always specify what can be achieved in 18 months very clearly. Instead of course, you have to present the entire roadmap that this will take, let's say 3 years to complete, but in the 18 months, these are the things which are going to complete.
Okay, so if I want to just go for getting the toxicity studies and get the license for the small molecule, and I plan to just do that. So if that I put clearly in the, because all the in vitro studies are done, so I think it is pretty much good in that sense, but I was not knowing that, because I heard all of them are like developing some kind of products and they are like market ready, and how return you are getting. So 18 months it will be difficult to get return when you're targeting on some kind of big projects.
Yes. As Suresh mentioned, this is today, we had a lot of engineers and focus more on the technology related ones, engineering technology. But for the pharma biotechnology, it will take some time. It is certainly clearly acceptable to define what you will achieve in 18 months.
Okay, thank you so much.
To add to that, there is no expectation even on the medical device companies to start returning money at the end of 18 months. We all understand that even to build a medical device, the total cost involved will be anywhere between 5 to 8 crores at least to get a reasonable functional prototype out, and probably 3 to 4 years to complete. That's if you are on a fast track process. So in the case of biologicals or new drugs, there is certainly no expectation that you will deliver profits at the end of 18 months. The committee that will be reviewed experienced and sensible, that they will not put that pressure on you. All you have to demonstrate is what is the maximum you in those 18 months with 50 lakhs. So add to your constraints in terms of science and technology, you have to add the constraint of money and time, because now you're in an entrepreneurship journey. So that's how you need to think about it. But no pressure to deliver profits at month 8.
Okay. And then as you mentioned that you have to identify risk of your whatever you are developing or whatever you're going to do. So what I recognize here that even the in vitro studies are done, the highest risk lies with science. Okay, whether it is going to work or not. So how feasible it is? Should I like, because you never know if a small molecule is going to work in the animal studies, and even if you present it very convincingly that I'm going to test it and it has passed all these in vitro tests, but still there is a lot of science risk involved. So if you are able to present that clearly, will that convince the team or whoever is like reviewing the application?
From what I have heard in the last 2-3 minutes about your proposal, yes, I think that is where your biggest risk will lie. So you will have to break down the different steps, the different procedures you are going to follow, and explain clearly how you will de-risk each of those steps. What is the action you will take? What is the experiment you will do? What is plan B? What is plan C? In each of these to make sure that the whole thing gets de-risked at the end of 18 months. Again, you may be underestimating the state of completion of your product before it goes to commercialization. There is probably a lot more complexity in clinical trials, manufacturing, packaging, all of that, patenting. So you may want to look into those steps also before you say that there is only a little bit of science risk which you have already mitigated.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, thank you so much for the insight. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Binoy Matthew. What I have, I wanted to know up till which phase of business will Big Grant support?
So the BAG will support from TRL 1, 2, 3 levels. You can, if you are at these stages, you can apply technology readiness level 1, 2, 3. So after you receive the grant, it is up to people reach 5, 6, 7, 8, depending on their work and their contribution if they are receiving additional funds.
Okay.
So basically, BAG supports idea to POC level to be validated, tested rigorously, so that you are ready to go to an investor or next level of.
Let's say they will not help you, they will not fund you for manufacturing and distribution. They will help you for anything prior to that. So manufacturing and distribution comes under what is called marketing risk or market risk, and that is not funded under BIG. That will be funded through BIPP, CIPRI and other programs. BIG is an innovation grant. So by the name itself, it is Biotechnology Innovation Grant. So only for technology development, product development, and product validation. That's what. And even if you say, I'm going to do some scouting for new drug molecules, that comes under pure science, and that will also not be funded. So I hope I can tell you where in the TRL zone, I hope you understood, which will be funded under BIG.
It is very clear. I have one more doubt. It is that I had applied for Big 17. Now my plan has slightly changed, and this is actually a new, not a new product. This product has two parts. So the first time I applied for the first part, and now I think I should apply for the second part of it. Should I place it as a new project proposal or a similar proposal? Because the grant shows that you have two options.
May I ask whether you are already shortlisted for BIG 17?
I was shortlisted for BIG 17.
What is your title, sir?
It's a one second.
Okay, may I ask whether IKP is the BIG partner or?
No. Sri Chitra Trivandrum is a.
No, Sri Chitra is the incubation partner.
Okay. I think it is Sign Bombay, Mumbai.
Okay, no problem. Please ask. So if you are already shortlisted, as I mentioned, if the reviewers' comments you have received and you want to update them with a slightly different thing, it is allowed. But if it is a completely different thing, they don't accept change, drastic change.
Okay. Is it possible that I can change the partner, because I feel that somehow IKP looks to be more favorable in.
No. At this stage, it is not possible. At the time of application, you have to select your partner and you have to approach them for further help.
Okay.
No, for BIG 17, Sign will be your partner. You cannot change it. But for BIG 18, you can choose a different partner.
Okay, thank you. That answers
that flexibility is allowed. But since you are already shortlisted for the presentation, as a company, it is in your best interest to get the 50 lakhs as soon as possible. So you can go to the committee this time and say, I have already started and progressed so much, so please give me the 50 lakhs immediately. Don't say that, no, I'll come back 8 months later and ask for the money again. It's not in your best interest. So just go with Sign and try to get it this time. But if you are not getting it, you please apply for BIG 18. And for BIG 18, you can choose whichever partner you think is best.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon. I have a small question.
Yes, sir.
Sir, in business, what point should I mention so that it will be suitable for my IKP? Because my prototype will be ready. So what point should I mention in business point of view?
So I think your specific worry is regarding you do not have a business mentor, and when you are a faculty applicant, there will be one very straightforward question: who will lead the company initiative? Who will be the CEO?
Yes.
So you mentioned that you will speak to Bala sir.
So that I determine, sir. I will be definitely I will be CEO.
Very nice, and I would request you to discuss with Bala sir.
Yes, he has helped me. He has given me one name, and one more name has come from my side. So at present, two people are ready to take over this.
Yes, so you have to mention that since it was suggested that I need to have a business mentor, I have two people, and this is the discussion, and this is how it will be taken forward.
Thank you so much.
So I will quickly scroll through the questions. So yes, please.
Sir, I am Bimal Pandey from the BioNGS Technologies Private Limited from Delhi. We are not kind of that at present not applying. It's based on the bioinformatics and the bioinformatics thing. So does BIRAC provide fund for the services?
Sir, your question was not clear. If I remember, you sent me a message, and I mentioned that development of a platform will be considered for funding. But if you are doing a service already and if you want extra money for doing the service, as Vikraman already answered, it will be more of a business case. It will not be funded. But if you are developing a platform, yes.
No, we don't. At present, nobody is doing the such kind of the services. We are the first to incorporating bioinformatics and getting out the microbes population and what kind of some microbes, and then incorporate with the agronomist, and we will suggest the how much chemical, yeah, how much fertilizer, yeah, how much bio in microbiome.
Yes, got it, sir. The simple answer is yes. For the development of this platform, for development of this platform, it will be considered, sir. Please, you can apply. Franklin, may I request you to mute yourself?
One more question, sir.
Yes,
we are
please.
from the Delhi. So, is it possible to incorporate as a big partner as a IKP?
Yes. So there is no geographical restriction. Wherever it is suitable for you, you can choose.
Okay, sir.
And as Pratik has mentioned, they have developed extensive resources through IKP Eden, and you can choose IKP Eden as the associate partner. He'll be very happy to help.
Yeah, please choose IKP Eden as your associate partner, and please choose IKP Knowledge Park as your BIG partner. So that's the request from us.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have an idea. It's in the medical field, but it requires machine learning. But I don't have any basics in machine learning. So what to do? Will you support him?
Yes, we will support you, but you have to bring your team members who have expertise in the machine learning. We cannot bring the team for you. You have to choose your team. Okay, now I will go through the questions. So here in the BIG application, will they be looking for patented technologies? Yes, if there is a patent, it is very nice, but it is not an absolute requirement. As I mentioned, if you can claim the features which you are going to protect through your IP, that is sufficient, and you should be able to defend what are the novel features you have. So this novelty will be covered under multiple things, and also will strengthen your business case if you have novel features. And IP, you can mention the novelty as well there. Can a university collaborate with a new startup to develop the product with a BIRAC grant? So university and startup collaboration is an independent thing. In the BIG grant, what you will be developing will be from the company side. You can have collaborations with n number of startups, universities. Can we apply for this grant if you are not a registered company yet? Yes, certainly you can apply as individual this time, even if you do not have a registered company. Even the LLPs are accepted as companies this time for the as a company applicant. Can we have one-on-one interaction with the speakers? Yes, most of the speakers have shared their emails, and you can write to Pratik or myself. We will be happy to introduce to them. And this is the same company registration. Do we get in-depth into technical discussion during Q&A session, or should we stick to the business proposition of the solution? As Vikraman mentioned, this is a innovation grant, and technology is one of the important. You have to explain the technology strength which you have. If it is about the question is regarding the business viability, please stick to the business, but otherwise I request you to answer the technology part. That is where you have to spend actually good enough time in making your presentation. Does any person have an official stake if I take forward my PhD work for higher level of validation and therapeutic purpose? So you certainly need a clear NOC from your institute if it is a part of your PhD work or the institute where you are working. Does BIG funds for services? So I think it is the same repeat question. If it is for the development of a platform which will do the services, certainly yes, but for services as such, no. how BIG may support project in utility infra softwares. I will reach out to you to understand what is that specifically you are asking. But if you are developing a software that is useful in agri, environment, health, it can be considered in the BIG. How to make the project more attractive and presentable? Yeah, this we can discuss individually. I have a published patent in 2019, but I'm unable to express its status. We will reach out to you individually. I know more about how to manage a budget. How do you go about as an individual? Can a mentor be your business partner? Is it limited to proof of concept, or do they need a prototype too? I think we have covered these points. Okay, so these are like all the specific questions regarding various budget heads. As I mentioned, 30% for any head, like equipment, HR, consumables. For IP, 1 to 1.5 lakhs is usually allowed, but if you have a case claiming multiple patents, usually there is no problem during the due diligence. We will be happy to accept. So most of the time, slight deviations can be requested during the due diligence, presenting your case. If you have 3-4 technologies associated with the project and you need 3-4 lakhs, I think it can be a very straightforward case. Is BIRAC eligible for service sector and e-commerce? I mean, applicant mean to ask, will it be funded? As I mentioned, if it is covering the areas of interest, agriculture, healthcare, environment, it can be considered, provided there is novelty. It's a plain e-commerce, just pure marketing, as Vikraman already clarified, it won't be considered. Is it mandatory to cater to the medical industry, or it is possible to develop non-clinical device with clinical standard under the grant? This is certainly acceptable. You can have the devices which are not for the medical industry. Many wearables with the clinical standards for non-medical field, it is certainly acceptable. Just like to listen and more about the application. Thank you all. Last 5 minutes or 10 minutes, if you want to ask any specific questions to Vikraman or the other.
Yeah, Doctor, I need a bit more qualification. Sorry, just a bit more clarification on the stake question I asked, because I told that I want to take forward my PhD work. My PhD I already completed 5 years back. So if I now want to start, should I take the permission of my guide or what whoever the co-guide was, because it is completely an open like source of literature which I want to take forward.
Open literature by definition is open, so you don't have to take their permission. But the committee will also ask if it is open literature, then anybody can take it and go ahead. So how will you protect your company against somebody doing the same thing? So that is something that you have to answer.
What is the additional innovation you are doing? You need to bring out more clearly if it is a 5 years old PhD work. So the previous thing for PhD work is if you are doing and if you are associated with the lab and using the resources. But if it is 5 years, you don't need a permission, but you need to bring out what are the novel features you will be building into that. And now
as I said, it's like, yeah, as I said that it's not a novel feature building into the project. It is already one part is over. So, for example, we can say the TLR1 is over and now it goes to, because normally the PhD work stops as it is and it is not taken to the clinical stage. So if I want to go for further validation, so do I need to take them as advisors or mentors, or I can go ahead without them?
It is up to you.
Okay.
And you have to bring out what is, means if it is already there, then as Vikraman suggested, anybody can do. If it is just the next step to how will you protect your IP, whatever you develop. Maybe, we will go for a more detailed discussion on this, Dr. Nujar.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And you have,
to add to that, there may be some new advancements that you have thought about around your PhD publications. And that is what is called your trade secret as of now, which is also a form of intellectual property. So you can apply based on that if there is significant advancements which other people will not know. So that is what is called a trade secret. So after your PhD and until now, if you have done any extra work or extra planning, That is called your trade secret, and that will help you differentiate yourself. Again, one thing that probably did not come out in this whole 2-hour thing is storytelling. You have to tell your story really well, and you have to make a case for yourself. All of the speakers who spoke, they had some story element in their presentations. If you carefully look into it, how they came about, how they identified a problem statement, how somebody by chance came into their life at a very opportune moment and helped them out. Right? That storyline is something that you need to build, especially in your case, because it's a PhD published research. So what has happened in 5 years and how you thought it can become a great commercial venture and become the next big pharma company. So that storyline you have to build out also.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
One quick question, sir. This is Radha Krishna here.
May I come in?
Yes, I request Mainak Banerjee to go now, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Visu. This is Mainak from BITS Goa. As such academician, as you know, I'm here for more than 12 years. But what we want to know, see that our research for 10 years can be translated to some products. So now what I have seen that in most of the cases, they are entrepreneurs from the beginning. They have started with their professional career with a big grant. And for me, it is like I would like to also see that a part of my research is going to the product. How much is the scope? That is one part. And then I would also like to know about the IP strategy for some ready products. Right now, I have given a project on DNTP synthesis, and then those are known products in the market. Now for me, the IP will be on my strategies, green technologies that I'm going to propose. So what I should write in the IP strategy, it's straightforward few lines that my green technologies can be patented, something like that, or
okay. I will answer these two things.
Okay.
So first thing is, all these are researchers from various institutes who transformed into entrepreneurs. They didn't directly get into this, but they were doing some research and they brought their research along. For example, in case of Suresh, he was doing a project on related thing which he brought into the project. So he just carried forward, and of course he became a full-time. Coming to the second one, I request you to have a session with Manish and Dr. Hema, who can help you in formulating the IP strategy things. So if I remember the discussion from the previous time, certainly your process has novelty in creating these DNTPs, and also you have to add the pitch of make in India, because DNTPs are central to all the RT-PCR and normal PCR kits. And there was huge delays in procurement in large quantities. If somebody want to make 1 million kits, they were not enough from Sigma and Merck. So there was a 15-20 days delay. You can include those points if there are news clippings available. If you have feedback from the small people, small to medium startups who are making these kits, you have to include that. I think you have a very clear case of adding your, don't just say that I can patent. You can say that this is the novelty which may be which as per the report XYZ is novel and hence may be patentable. We are exploring. I would say that since you have more than 10 days time, you should have a separate discussion and include those specific points. Don't just say that it is patentable. And
so can I?
It's one straightforward question will be, if it is funded, who will lead the initiative? Who will be the CEO for the startup? I think you are mentioning that you want to take it forward. It's perfectly fine. You should be very clear with that.
Okay. So you have cases like where, again, in BITS, it is possible to form a startup and then invest my time from my academic activities to that startup as well, and both go simultaneously. Do you encourage such, or you have come across some applicants who have managed this thing and to motivate me? I want to do both.
So certainly, if in the BITS there are several examples where faculty members have applied and continued. I would say that in this case, if you have a postdoc or a student who is more interested and can spend time and want to develop this into a venture, that would be suitable. Who has a technical expertise
Right.
To the project, I would always, I would even invite him to the presentation and mention to the committee that yes, we are forming so and so company. We have the no objection certificate from our institute. I want to take it forward like this, and student would be the CEO, and I would be the mentor. And
okay, fine. Now, can you arrange a session with Manish or Hema if it is
yes,
possible?
yeah. Can you
I
please
will-
send
I
an
will-
email right now, ikptto@ikpknowledgepark.com. They will respond,
Okay.
and next week.
Okay, I will keep you in CC.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much.
So what is the last date for submission of video, sir? Tomorrow?
So as I mentioned, the date of interviews has been shifted. It is not starting from 10th. It is starting from 15th. So I would request you to give the final video by 10th. And by tomorrow, by Monday, you will be receiving approximate time slots.
Will you please help me to give the IP strategy, whatever mentioned, so that I can include it?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
May I request Jebin to unmute and speak?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for this wonderful session by the IKP team and Dr. Vishwa. I am planning to be incorporated in June 2021. So currently, I think I can apply as an individual, right?
Yes.
For if individual application means, can I have a director of a medical device company as a team member?
Yes, if you have a letter of intent, or if you agreed by email, so you can just include along with that. So there is a place to include additional documents. So I would say the email communication with other team members or collaborators can be made into a single PPT and uploaded there. So reviewers will check the other documents submitted as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you and good luck. Yes, now I request Roots and Goods team to unmute and ask. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
No, thanks, Dr. Vishu. My name is Sachin, and I have a quick question. We have to present for the final rounds for this year, last year's cohort, and we would. I apologize that I couldn't join from the earlier session. I joined probably 45 minutes back. So I would request, can we talk to a couple of agri startups from the last cohorts who won, or a couple of startups who couldn't make it in the final. So this is genuinely, we wanted to know the experiences so that we could have a better foot forward during the presentation this year.
Certainly. So please send a separate email saying that you want to speak to Agri Startup, and we will see that with whom we can arrange. We'll be happy to do that.
Thank you. That's it. Thank you so much. All the best for everybody. Thank you.
Good luck. And somebody named FNDA2L. This is a very novel name, unique name, patentable. So can you please unmute yourself and please ask? May not be patentable. So somebody with a name called FNDA2L, please unmute. So other participants may please unmute and ask.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hi, Divya.
Hi, Dr. Visu. Hi, everyone. It was really wonderful to hear all the suggestions, and we'll definitely improve upon that. One small thing I wanted to ask is, should we keep the extra slides for Q&A in the presentation that we are submitting, or a separate presentation has to be kept ready?
So I would request you to include all the things in an extra presentation, which you can share at the time when they are asking, and share that screen at the time of Q&A.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. And also, sir, I was thinking,
when you're submitting the video, please submit the PPT as well.
Okay. All right. Okay. Separately, apart from the video.
Yes.
Okay, sir, another question was, we are, let's say, getting some LOIs from some of the companies who are interested in our product. So then is it good to add the LOI in the PPT, but like we still not got it, got them, but let's say we will be getting it after we submit the PPT. So Will that be okay that we tell it during the Q&A or something like that?
So can you see this one? So
Yes.
that day you can show like this, saying that I have just received
Okay.
and I will be sharing. So in the video.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Akshay.
Hello, everyone.
Sorry.
See, I have a doubt actually. It's more of a fear. I want to know why do startups fail? I mean, it's not so simple to just plan everything and go. There are many things that can go wrong. So is there anything we should right now keep in mind? It's like we are just following our passion and idea, but I think we need more than that to make a successful startup.
Yes, I think we will take this separately, but as Pratik was sharing all the details, so if you can be more prepared, and as all the other teams who are successful are at least going close to the market. So the one thing I see among all of them is their attention to detail, so much of hard work. So that will reduce the chance of failure. I can't say that you will be successful, but you will be prepared to face the failure and make changes in your strategy. So that will be very more philosophical and very long, and we will be happy to catch up with you later.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
I will add persistence and the iteration mindset. Persistence meaning sticking to your passion and continuing on it, and iteration meaning that you take feedback and continuously improve. And maybe we will ask our startups to be Suresh and others can probably give their opinion on what should be done to de-risk your journey.
Yeah. May I, Suresh?
Please.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very valid question, and we have also experienced it. At different stages of the startup journey, we need different kinds of expertise. In the initial days, the technology team or the scientific team, whatever, it matters a lot. But as and when we mature after developing the product, we need some business insights, we need some marketing insights, okay, and we need different kind of mentorship, especially in finance or even legal mentorship. So at different stages of startup, like my startup is now 3.5 years old. So we have seen, from day zero, from a single room to a facility now where we are building our product and getting into the market in 2-3 months. So at different stages, we need to be alert and understand whom to approach. And I think organizations like IKP have added immense value, where we get a network, where we get access to people who have had experiences in that way, and taking mentorship from them. If they are not playing a direct role, at least they'll get us in touch with some advisor for business growth or whatever. So I think adding on people into your team as and when the startup is growing, particular to that stage, will help a lot. At least we have done that, and we have seen immense value. That is one thing. And second thing is, if you are not a fresher or just out of college, for example, if I take my experience, I have around 15 years of work experience. Earlier I worked with big companies, small companies, at leadership role, at different levels. I think bringing that experience into the startup also matters a lot. And startup should not be a chaotic one. It should be well organized and well disciplined. So if you take care of these small pieces at different stages, and you are quite alert and you're quite clear as to what is needed in your company at that particular duration of time, and if that there's a gap, I think you should onboard somebody. For example, in my case, I am onboarding trying to onboard some good business development head, because that is a different expertise altogether. We should have somebody at this stage. I cannot have a business development head from day zero at the time when I ideated the product. Okay, so this is just an example. In this way, you have so many departments. Please keep onboarding some people, make them partners, give them a small share. Nothing wrong. We need not have the entire piece of cake if you want to grow. That's the input from my end, from my experience.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So,
I'll try to include all that in my 5-year roadmap. I hope I'll
May-
convince BIRAC with that.
Probably I may add a little bit to Suresh thing. I might continue, or I may give a different perspective. So the first thing is, what at least we think is, so at least myself, whenever you wanted to lead, better ready for a failure. We got failures several times, and it's still fine. When we first interacted with Vikraman sir, he shooted us down. But again, he helped us again, reframe everything, and we pitched for leap. And with the same thing with the Deepanvita ma'am, she got us, with Deepanvita and Vishu sir was also there. She got us some mentors from Stanford and helped us. So everything ready to face that failure. So whenever you're pitching something or showing something or whatever it is, don't think that we know everything and all. So whenever we show, you will always, be prepared that you will get failed. And don't get discouraged by failure. Again, keep approaching the same people and get the more feedback and improvise it, and they'll really help you in going there. And one more thing is, whenever every day, whenever I open my company, we have to just prepare that even everyone leaves today, you should be able to survive. You should be able to go forward. So that's the mindset at least we keep, whenever we open the shop every day. And particularly in Corona situation, we can expect everything, every disaster.
I just wanted to add to Prasad. I think very well said and very important for this audience. Like we were having a very, very tight time during Corona. And let me tell you, all the participants here, IKP has really helped us. I'll tell you how. We wrote to Visu sir and we wrote to Ambuj and the entire team. And they were so kind. We had a late night 1.5 hour of discussion to understand what is the problem. Okay, so I personally believe, once you are associated with IKP, it's not about just a BIG grant that you are trying to get from IKP. I think that's a very selfish reason. You should not do that. I think it's a mutual growth, and we have to seek. We personally see IKP as our complete set of mentors and the go-to people whenever we have any problem, and we have got immense support from Visu sir and his entire team. So I think you should take mentorship, you should take advice and go ahead as and when you grow.
So here I would like to just mention a thing. Vikraman is building a platform from, like Suresh, like Prasad, they have received, help when they need it. So Vikraman is building an entire platform to support the startups from day one to throughout entire journey. And we will be sharing those details shortly. So that will be kind of Vikraman, maybe you want to speak for a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes.
Dr. Visu, I have one question. Like I maybe missed it during the conversation. I have one venture that we got support from a letter scheme of BIRAC. Now I have a new venture and new product. Is it okay to apply for that?
So if you got one BIG, you will not be getting another BIG.
No, we never got BIG. We got some other support from BIRAC.
No, certainly you can apply. There is no problem if your company is less than 5 years old.
Okay.
Thank you. Now I request Vikraman.
Great. So just like we have built multiple grant programs, right? So we've first done grant challenges, explorations, BIG, tuberculosis grant challenges. We've done at least 15 grant programs now. We have built multiple engineering centers now. So funding infrastructure we have solved, but this virtual mentorship and assisted mentorship is something that needs to be built at scale. So that's something that I'm working on. It's a secret project. But the resource we are making available as part of that is what Pratik has actually shared with you. I mean, these are the first bits that we have written out and put out, but there'll be a more grand scheme of how to engage with startups better. There is a platform being built. Once it is launched, we will update you. So it's still in the works. So I'm also building a prototype. So yeah.
I just am I audible? I just wanted to add one point to this question that about startups being successful and not. So I'll just tell that there is couple of thumb rules. If you consider a 2-year horizon to your entire startup, that you need to build the product, launch the product, get into commercialization, and have a 2-year mindset, you will always be in fear, because then every 6 months, if something is going wrong, you will be like that, I have another 1 year left to make it successful. But if you think of 5 years, that anxiety, that fear actually reduces. If you think of 10 years, you feel that no issues. If something wrong happens, I can come back again. I will give another 1 year, another 1 year. Most practically for all these startups, irrespective of whichever domain they are, the first 2-3 years is about a lot of survival, because you don't have enough funds and everything. And especially for medical startups, they actually start seeing commercialization. Even the mature ones with IKP, they would have probably got funding and all at 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, like that. So the point is, if you are getting into this for a very quick point of time, you will always be in anxiety if you have a 2 years mind frame. But if you have a 5-7 years mind frame, and if you want to dedicate your life that, okay, I'll do this no matter what, I think the anxiety reduces. That is what I am doing at this moment. So whenever I have a setback in 3 months or 6 months, I feel no issues. I am in this for the long game. And eventually entrepreneurship, I think, is not about making it big. It's not about a sprint. It is about a marathon. So think of it in terms of a marathon. And I think then, that anxiety and fear will go away.
Thank you, Priyanjit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And the main conclusion that I got was we can call Vishu sir for 1 or 2 hour calls if you are in trouble, right?
Sir, give me 1 second time, sir. Vishwanath sir, this is Rama Devi.
Yes, please. Last question.
Yes, yeah, sir. Previously, I applied for BIG 2 times. In that, I got queries for that. In first stage, I selected. In the second stage, according to researcher, I developed prototype 1. But they are giving the feedback in that the business plan and validation part is weak. Can I reapply that one, sir? Can you help that in that way? The business plan and IP part is weak, like that. You have to better for next support grant business oriented, but big supported proposal would need better presentation, like that they are given. Again, we have to modify and we can apply for the next round, sir. Big IP.
Yeah. So if you have been shortlisted to present, that means there is some component in that which they felt is useful. But if they're saying that you have to look into the IP and novelty, you have to bring out those things, and certainly you can reapply. So if you are a company, until you are 5 years old, you can apply. If you are an individual,
yes, sir, individual.
Apply as long as you think then you have an answer to the queries which they have. And please send an email. I will connect you with the IKP Prime team. They are the ones who are helping with the novelty and IP pre-research related things.
Yes, sir. One more thing, and Ayurveda, that eco pads that are just now we need that during pandemic COVID-19, like masks. In the scarcity of in March, we are prepared with the clothes of that masks regarding with the herbal medicines. Can we apply for second one?
Don't apply for the mask now.
Okay.
And if you have received a feedback to develop something earlier, and if you have something strong in herbal case, I would suggest that you should go with the previous thing, because now there are several players in the market, and you will not be able to answer queries related to your competitive advantage over them. I would suggest you go with the previous one and develop. And one last question from Dr. Pradeep Paik.
Yeah, thank you very much to everyone of supporting staff of KIP. A very good input actually about these things. Okay, and Dr. Bishu already told that you will be calling another meeting this type for the bio and pharma. Okay, thank you very much. One thing is that what about Dr. Bikramar, you said about the Dr. Nusrat Assam, okay, about this study. Just I feel as a supervisor from the IIT, if she take written from the supervisor, it's no harm actually, because supervisor may be taking the fellowship for the students or going on similar project. Ex-students might not know that thing. I think there is no harmful to take a one line from the supervisor to avoid any type of conflicts. And maybe with the supervisor has published the paper where both the supervisor and the student's name is already there. So you cannot avoid the ethical things. That's actually. Just these things. Other things we'll be discussing some. So I don't want to keep.
Thank you, Dr. Pradeep. Certainly, always go on with the previous team. Always helpful, provided there is no conflict or fear of going back or some other things. But Vikraman answer is more of a technical thing. If it is a 5-year-old thing, anybody for that matter, even I can start that project because it is a published result. I am taking from there. But always going back to the lab is helpful because they will have resources to help you. So I would like to thank. Yes.
Yeah. So see you some other day.
Yep. So Monday you all will receive the schedule, sir, for the BIG 17 people.
And you told for the pharma and bio related you will have a similar.
So that is for the new applicants, not before this. But we will have a look at your the PPT and then get back to you on the individuals. Already they are looking, sir.
After today's feedback, I think I can modify much more my PPT. Maybe in today,
yes,
Saturday,
sir.
Sunday, I will be modifying, and more schematic things would be.
Perfect.
You have sent me on message about the 27th February. Please check it. I just a little bit confused.
Okay, I will find out.
27th, 1st February. Maybe I just replied you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you very much to all. Okay.
Thank you. And I would like to request, I would like to thank Startun Lab Suresh, Salbots Mano, Ashwa Tech Anmol, Lozi AI Priyanjit, and Himek Prasad. So I always remember, so whenever I think about those names, the companies come to my mind first. And I'm very happy that all of them are doing very well. And thanks to Vikraman and Pratik, who has built a very nice support system to help people. So IKP has over 600 plus innovators who received help in various forms, like various grants Vikraman has mentioned, and we'll be very happy to be your partner, not just in BIG but anything. And for any engineering related things anywhere, I would say that IKP Eden is one of the best, and we'll be happy to. Since today's session is more on engineering and some of the participants are there, please have a look at the website and send an email to Pratik. Pratik will type the email for contact request, anything related to the Eden. And thank you all for your participation. Please follow up with an email. And Vikraman, last words.
Yeah, for BIG 18 applicants, please choose IKP Eden as your BIG partner and IKP Knowledge Park. Sorry, Eden as your associate partner for all 18.
Vikraman, your voice is breaking. Vikraman is saying that please choose IKP Eden as your associate partner and IKP Knowledge Park as your BIG partner.
See how we are constantly selling our services. You should also be constantly selling your idea and your products.
So thank you everyone, and we will end the meeting here, and I will share the recording with all the registered participants. And once again, special thanks to all the teams who spent their valuable time. Have a nice day. And okay, 1 minute. So I request you to stay back and please switch on the camera for a photo.
Your blog, sir. Can you please open it?
Which one?
That we cannot open the camera.
Okay. I did not block anything, sir.
Getting message that host has blocked, host has stopped it.
Okay.
Message coming, sir. It is.
Okay, so maybe when people were constantly switching on in between and there was disturbance, I might have stopped. I would just look. Yes, so. So now you should be able to. Yeah. So you can smile. Thank you all. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vikraman.
Thank
Best
you,
wishes
everybody.
to all. Bye.
Bye.
So anyone want to ask anything, they can stay back, and we'll be happy to have any clarifications you want to ask, which you couldn't ask in the team.
Sir, I am facing some problem downloading video when I'm making. Has there been any way to make the video, sir? Can I
Sir,
go with
I think it is very easy to make a PPT with narration. So open the PPT and say that record the rehearsal. And when you are recording, please record in a clear voice without much background.
So which side where to go, sir?
No site. You just have to go to your PPT and start recording.
Okay.
And Abhijit, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. I had a question on behalf of someone else, sir. One of our mentors, Dr. Sheetal Banerjee, wanted to do a startup. So she's in registration process. So she was asking she can apply as an individual now, but sorry, she wants to apply the startup. She's planning on quitting also her job in few months.
If she has registered,
not this call, next call, when she's applying, I am also part of that startup, so she cannot apply, right? Technically.
If you get the BAG, yes, but you can be the advisor, not a team member.
Okay. I mean, I'm like a very small part, like. Okay. Understood, sir. I'm like only a 3% shareholder or something.
Yeah, so I think it should be okay. Please send a email asking for the clarification. If the company is not registered, there is no need to wait for the company registration. If the things are clear, they can apply and receive the feedback so that they will be ready with the next call. I would say that whenever there is a chance,
I will tell.
Like
I will tell ma'am the same.
Yes, in your case, now when you applied previously, you had limited things, but you received so much feedback. It was helpful in.
Yes, sir. Yes, like tremendous guidance from you also.
Elsewhere, you are very successful. So it is not just about BIG, but about overall success of your project.
Yes, sir. I mean, I would like to thank IKP. Like we knew a lot. They knew a lot of stuff. We learned a lot from you guys guiding us.
And we are also very happy that you are able to help so many students. So that's a real inspiration for many. And thanks to Alex for spending his time with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So presentation and video that you're talking about.
What's that? So this is for the BIG 17 people.
Here.
Yeah, this is for the people who are attending the final interview in the BIG 17. Sir.
Okay.
So we have conducted a one-on-one feedback session. We gave the detailed feedback on specific slides, and we also helped with IP related things.
Okay.
So all those specific things they have incorporated, both from technology point of view, business point of view, IP point of view, because all these have clear weightage.
Okay.
So if we don't help them, they may not be able to succeed. Their project may be good, but they need so much help.
That's only for the next phase of it, not during the application.
During the so we kept this call open. All these meetings are open. Anybody can register and they can make use for BIG 18 also. Same things will be applying. So if they share a PPT, we will give the feedback.
Okay. Then that means how do you plan the PPT? How exactly do you want the PPT to be?
So there is a fixed format is available, sir, in the BIRAC website when you are filling the form. So it asks you to define the problem statement, solution you are providing, novelty, feasibility, IP, business case. So it asks.
But this was not there in 17, I believe.
No, sir. We have shared with all the applicants, and if I can. So the participants who are in hurry can leave. There is no problem. This is only very specific thing. So these are the specific things that are there, and they need to answer. Team, intro, objective, milestones, IP strategy, budget, and of course reviewer concerns.
Okay.
So all these things were there, and
all these things were there, but then something regarding a PPT was not there, I believe.
No, there was a PPT, sir. Certainly, because I had looked at it personally.
Okay.
Yes, it is there, sir. It is available, sir.
Okay. Okay.
And you can have actually, we have conducted several sessions. I will just post this in the chat box, so you can have a look. Where is the chart? So this is one which has all the references, and there is a PPT template which I am referring to, and there is a short video of the last interaction we had.
Okay, thank you.
And if you found all this interaction useful, I would request you to tell your friends about IKP, and maybe they can choose IKP as the BIG partner.
Sure. Definitely. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Sir, one question. I would like to appreciate your dedication. And I presented on 1st February, but exactly you mentioned what was my lacuna, and you said that I asked the question, who will be the CEO? So I'm very much thankful, and really it is helpful to me, and I communicated this to Balachandran sir also.
Because
Definitely,
I had seen some faculty members with excellent proposals unable to answer this thing in the previous calls. So you should not be, we should fail with something new, not with the same things. So we want to share so that, of course, I know you are talking, but when you don't discuss in detail, you may not be able to articulate your answer. By saying that I am the CEO, it is not the full answer. I would say that I will present them my transition. So I am having this lab, I'm at this stage, and these are my plans. I am not perfect with the business, and I am going to these people. So this should be like as Vikraman told, it is like a story. If you can tell the answer as a part of your story, then I think not just BIG, anywhere you will be successful.
Yes. Thank you so much. But I'm fully prepared now with all my reports. I am very happy with you, your team, and Balchandran sir also helping me in between. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. So that's all for today. Have a nice day.
Yes, sir.